Hello everyone, my name's Reba and welcome to my first game review rant, What Killed Pokemon Go. I know this topic has been covered by other Pokemon Go specific channels like Trainer Tips, but I wanted to go over it with a little more detail based on my personal experience. In 2014, Google Maps, Pokemon, and the Nintendo company got together for an April Fool's prank where they announced the Google Maps Pokemon Challenge. This prank was actually a feature in the Google Maps app where you could click and catch Pokemon that showed up in your nearby area. And it, needless to say, was very popular. There's still a bunch of tutorials from back then on how to play it. Now, after that, they decided to make a full-on game, Pokemon Go, and released the first trailer, as shown behind me. Now, this trailer, if you go to click on the actual thing, promised a lot of features that have never been launched. Among these features are trading, a working tracking system, and battling. Here we are 2 years later, and the tracking system still sucks, no trading, no battling, nada. In July of 2016, when the game was released, Niantic was completely unprepared for the app's popularity. The game constantly crashed because the servers were overwhelmed and it took weeks for people to be able to log in for more than 5 minutes at a time. After that, they released bug fixes that caused more harm than good, and not to mention the fact that these bug fixes had absolutely no information as to what they were fixing in these updates. One perfect example would be the bug fix that erased random users' accounts. Oh, and don't get me started on the tracking. It worked for the first week, but then they updated the app and broke it. Permanently. And instead of fixing it, they took forever to release what we have now. A tracking system that only works with Pokestops, which doesn't help rural players who don't have many of those. So, if you have Pokemon nearby, but you don't have any Pokestops, they just show up in the grass. No indication of how close they are. It's annoying. Third-party developers then made their own tracking systems and apps for the game, which Niantic shot down. Funny thing though, they weren't successful with stopping the spoofers. For those who don't know what those are, spoofers are people who use apps to fake their GPS location so they can play the game from their couch. You know, kinda like the Pokemon games of old. Plus the bot accounts that never got deleted. Niantic not only ignored their player base, but they were too scared to actually delete the bot accounts. They would just, instead, temporarily suspend them. I know this because I followed a Facebook group full of spoofers for Pokemon Go, and a lot of them only complained about being suspended and were not scared because this suspension would last anywhere from 30 minutes to maybe 24 hours. Living in a town with nothing but perfect maxed out Blissies in all gyms totally killed the fun for me personally, and then Niantic changed the gym system, which was also super buggy, but an improvement in my opinion since we no longer had to worry about struggling through so many souped up bots. And then they made raid battles a thing. And let me tell you, it was a terrible idea. Raids require large groups of people, depending on what level the raid was, to participate in order to beat and catch the Pokemon. Not every town has a lot of players anymore, sorry. Then EX raids were released. These were exclusive passes randomly given out to players who beat certain raids as an invitation for them to catch Mewtwo. Niantic would not communicate with the player base on this, so we were left in the dark on how it worked, which, needless to say, left a lot of the remaining players frustrated. Nowadays, we have some good features. For example, these legendary research tasks that give us a chance to catch Mew, and other legendaries, from what I understand, but I have yet to finish the Mew tasks. This makes it a little bit better since it gives everyone an equal chance at a legendary, instead of requiring you to find 15 other players just for one Zapdos. The other good thing they started doing is announcing Community Day events. Once a month, they would have one specific Pokemon show up like crazy with a rare move and a high shiny rate. Shiny meaning the Pokemon is a different color than what it's supposed to be, for those of you unfamiliar with that. These would last 3 hours a day, 1 day a month, and it's been pretty successful. So to sum this all up, it was essentially Niantic that killed their own app. Their lack of communication, aggression towards third-party developers that helped the game, and refusal to address the needs and wants of their player base. I think this clip from their failed Pokemon Go Fest pretty much sums it up.
Help me welcome to the stage the CEO of Niantic, Mr. John Hanke.
Thanks, Rachel.
For those of you unaware, Niantic hosted a festival that failed utterly because no one could log into their account due to overwhelming the nearby phone towers. Not to mention the thousands of people who paid thousands of dollars to not only attend this event, but just stand in line in the rain and do nothing. Anyways, that's my 2 cents on the death of Pokemon Go. I still play, but only for Community Day. What about you? Do you play at all? Leave a comment and let me know. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.